Last night when I was putting my kids to bed, I kept thinking about something that we all know, but we don't always live like it. Today is a gift, and tomorrow isn't promised. And yet we walk through life like tomorrow is guaranteed. Like we can start next week, we can get serious in January, or fix them when things finally calm down. The truth is, our kids don't remember our intentions. They remember how we showed up. So in this episode, this isn't about some hype resolution that you drop by February. It's about choosing the kind of man that you want your kids to remember and building a system that actually holds up. When you're stressed, when you're tired, when life gets in the way, things get hard because motivation fades. But a plan survives. So I guess it's time for us to get into it. I'm your host, Dimitri.
And I'm your host, Patrick.
Wunderbar. Well, as we get into it, obviously you guys can understand that our episode today is going to be about New Year's resolutions, father style. Patrick,
Yes, sir.
you want to lead us? You want to lead us in?
Yeah. With my resolutions.
Yeah. What's your resolution?
So for the same reason you just listed, I'm not really big on resolutions because I feel like they're temporary. I know that's not ever the intent, but so I have some goals
Okay.
is the way that I like to call it. One of my goals is to be more present for my kids and my partner.
Right on. And do you think so? As a father, that's kind of like it's almost like a go-to, right? We always have some sort of presence that we want to be known for our family. We don't want to be distracted by everything that's happening in life.
Yeah, I think I've gotten better at it over the years, but it's still a struggle. My my biggest struggle is work, like being stressed at work and then coming home and not being as present as I would like to be or should be.
Which I think we all fucking deal with. You got so many things that you want to get handled in life, and it's almost like there's never enough time. Um, I mean, I work from home, but there's still not enough time in the day to get done all the things that I want to get done because there's your professional life, then there's your home life, and then there's you just being yourself and things that you want to get accomplished throughout the day. And sometimes you can't do them all. I think you kind of already touched on this, but when you hear New Year's resolution, what do you think? Do you hear like bullshit? Do you think that it's like something that's hopeful? What, where does it kind of hit to you?
I don't think I necessarily hear bullshit, but it it does seem like a 30-day fad.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it goes away within 30 days. And I know it may not be everybody, but it seems to be pretty typical. I can tell you I went to the gym. Uh I started in November one year. And I remember January there was a huge influx of people in the gym. And then by like February, March, it was not the same.
Yeah.
Like
And,
you just saw all those people dip.
and well, I guess that's probably because when we look at resolutions, we don't necessarily see them as um, people look at them as this is this massive thing that I have to get done and accomplish. And once I do it, I'm good. Like everything will be gooder, better in English. And that's just not the case. Uh, they usually fail because they're way too big. You said, did you stick to your resolution? Was it last year about going to the gym?
Well, no, for me, it wasn't a resolution. I had gone 2 months before then. we started a plan in November. So when I started going in November, December, it was definitely kind of light. And then January, it was like, holy shit. Like we were going at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and, you know, there was like 15 to 25 regulars almost every day. And then in January, all of a sudden you're like waiting to use equipment. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And it didn't register to me until a little bit later, but it was most likely people with New Year's resolutions to go to the gym or be more healthy. And then by February and March, it had faded, by quite a bit.
Yeah. But so last year, my resolution, I guess not really a resolution, it was a goal of mine, and I got it. I did the 30-day 5K. So for 30 days, I tried my best to wake up at 5 a.m. or 4, and I went and I ran a 5K at the gym where I live. And one of the biggest things that kind of I was looking through some of the stuff for this episode, it kind of hit because it said, if your goal can't survive sleep, it's not a plan. At surface level, it sounds kind of dumb, but if you're exhausted, you don't want to do shit. And I
Right.
think that sometimes as the motivation fails, our goals fade with them because they're typically pretty vague. We don't plan for obstacles, and we definitely don't track them or track them the way that we want. We typically look for any excuse there is to get out of doing the shit that we don't want to do, which is usually people's resolutions.
Well, it's I don't know if it's funny, but it's interesting that you say that because we were going to bed at 8 p.m. every night, and so we could get up in time. So sleep wasn't necessarily the issue, but what it was doing, it was sacrificing my time with my kids at home,
Yeah.
which is ironically the opposite of one of the things I want to focus on going into this year. You know, it's I think it's just a struggle sometimes. Like I think you said it to me once is that like when you were going to the gym, it was extremely selfish.
Yeah.
But then the flip side is you're trying to extend your life by being healthier to be there for your kids later on down the road as well. So what's more important or
Well,
how do
oh,
you
yeah.
balance it?
I mean, that's a good point. Like, what's more important? Because the selfish aspect of it is you're going to the gym because you want to look good. Like, no matter what anybody says, if you want to be healthy, you're going to change your diet. You're going to change what you eat and your simple little lifestyle choices. If you want to look good, you're going to go to the gym. You're going to bust your ass because you want that. You want that muscle on your body. You want people to look at you like, damn, that guy works out, or whatever the case is. But I think a majority of like the health side isn't selfish. I think the health side is the most valuable part. And I think as we get older, I mean, me specifically, that becomes more important than going to the gym because as fun as going to the gym is, and after a couple months, you look far better. If you just change your diet, not only are you going to look better, you're going to feel better too. And you're not giving up that time with your kids. But just like with everything, there's sacrifice in one area, and you have to be okay with it for a potentially a predetermined amount of time. That's how you succeed at it. And yeah, but to your point, yeah, I think as I said, going to the gym and when you're waking up super super early and you're going to bed really really early, it is selfish. You have a goal, and sometimes the only way to meet that goal for yourself They used to have your own, blockades. Like, hey, it's 8 o'clock. I got to go to bed. If I don't go to bed, then I'm not going to do what I need to do tomorrow. And then that's going to fuck everything up. And then I'm going to be pissed off because I've disappointed myself. And then your kids suffer as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's like everything's a double-edged sword.
Well, and I think that's part of my issue too, is that, and I don't know what the numbers are on it, but I feel like, the average person works an 8-hour day. Well, I work 10 to 12. So you're losing out on 2 to 4 hours with your kids already that you normally would get.
Yeah.
So then when you add in going to the gym, now that's another hour and a half probably with travel and everything.
Yeah.
It it ends up being very, very consuming.
In the United
Now
States, it's 8.5 hours.
8.5 is what the average
Yeah.
person works.
Yep. In the United States. Japan, it's 9 to 10.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised by that. Not
Uh,
Japan, but I'm not 8.5 sounded about right.
yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on what field you're in, right? If you're a blue collar, you're obviously going to work more. If you're in construction, you're going to work a hell of a lot more. Um, Marcel, I guess question for you. When you're stressed out, you know, what's your default? Do you kind of snap? Do you scroll?
I
Do you
think it's
shut down?
scroll.
Do you start eating?
Yes. So I'm definitely a stress eater.
Yeah.
Which when I was doing fasting, it was kind of nice because I could still, I don't want to say eat like shit, but I could eat maybe some things that would quote unquote make me feel better from a stress standpoint. But then I wouldn't eat the rest of the day. So I didn't have the impact of like overeating, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Snacking is the fucking worst, man. I'm the same way. I love snacks. I love food.
But I would say I'm eater and and a scroller, and not necessarily even a scroller. Like it could just be TV in general, but I need something to distract my brain.
I uh I procrastinate. I procrastinate to the point of here's all the pressure. Now it's like important enough for me to do it. You know, when realistically I know if I just get my shit done that moment, then I'm good. Like I don't like me and my wife like laugh about this, but I don't have a like an in between area. Like I think some people are able to like hover in this zone of, oh well, I can kind of like be a piece of shit and also get shit done. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do anything, or I'm gonna do everything. Like that's the only way that my brain kind of seems to like allow me to function really good. So I either drown out everything, for work as an example. If I'm sitting there and I have a bunch of shit to do, I have to like turn everything off. Like I can't have any noises going on around me. And then I just dive in and like hours go by and everything's done. Or I'll stare at it and I'll be like, fuck, well, yeah, we should get this done right now. And then like I have to like pace myself. It's like, well, I could do this one this hour and then this one the next hour. I could look at this right now. And it fucks me up so bad, the procrastination. And that's my stress, because yeah,
It's
exactly.
added stress.
Yeah.
Procrastinating added stress.
Well, it it adds it's almost like I have to get to a certain level for it to boil over, and I'm not necessarily stressed, but it's to the point where I have to get it done now. And then I'm like, cool, it's go time. Like I have to wait till the gas pedal is pushed all the way down.
Well, some people perform better that way. I think I perform better that way, but I don't do it. I don't. I wouldn't say that I'm a big procrastinator, but being under pressure makes me perform better,
Yeah.
which is kind of what you're saying is the same for you.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you're right.
I procrastinate in certain things, but for the most part, it's not. I try to just handle stuff as it comes in, to avoid what you feel
Okay.
like overwhelmed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, overwhelmed. I'll just, I guess, scroll and snack. So that answers
Scroll
that
and
question.
snack.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard not to. It's like I divulge to another, I resort to a different hobby now. Um, all right. So we got one more for why do resolutions fail? All right. And this is a big question. So do dads fail because of discipline or because the plan is unrealistic? And maybe unrealistic isn't the right word. The plan isn't well written out.
Well, so it's definitely probably the latter, but I also think that it coincides with what we were just talking about. Like you become overwhelmed and something's got to give.
But we
And
become overwhelmed because of what? So that's what I mean. Like if we're overwhelmed, right? The discipline, if you have enough discipline, you should be able to overcome it. Because being disciplined is when you are overwhelmed or you got shit going against you, you're able to maintain composure and power through it.
yeah, I could see that. It's it it's still there's still almost only so much time in a day.
Yeah.
And I think at some point something has to be sacrificed, and it's easier to sacrifice the newest thing and go back to your old ways. Well, and I guess it really depends on what your resolution is too, right? Like if it's financial, that's probably a lack of planning more than it is a lack of discipline.
Okay. Let's say it's you're you're starting this new diet and you're planning out your meals and you need to plan breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. Why do you think they would fail?
Um, I mean, I would say either or. It could be discipline or it could be not a good plan.
Yeah. So what if that plan's too big, right? What if we have an unrealistic expectation to conquer this big new endeavor that we're trying to do? Okay, more than likely, unless you're planning your stuff the day before, you're not gonna be able to get it done. And if it's too great, the moment that you deal with a little bit of adversity, you you crumble. It's not a good plan.
Right.
I
Right.
think like we can be very disciplined, but with really great discipline, you have to sacrifice a lot. And I don't think that's necessarily the best path forward. I think you have to build up to that discipline by creating goals that are realistic that you can set and like not necessarily forget them, but kind of set them and have them be automated. Because they said there's a thing that when I was reading about all this stuff yesterday, it said that most people think that it takes 30 days to like set a new habit, but it's more like 66.
66 days is the number.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's like on average in 66 days, that's typically when a habit, so that's typically when like a goal or a thing that you're doing consistently becomes a habit. It becomes automated in your brain and you don't necessarily have to worry or stress about it. And we usually
Interesting.
do things for what, 30 days? 30 days seems to be kind of like the breakdown of it. And we usually set these kind of grand old things for us to conquer instead of breaking it down a little bit.
Well, and I will tell you something that I've learned dealing with people who are working on their sobriety is focus on today. D- Don't focus on March. Now, it's kind of contradicting if you put a plan together and you have some end goals,
Hmm.
but when you're talking about somebody in sobriety, they need to just go to bed that day
Yeah.
sober. That's all that matters. Once they start thinking about being sober for a year, being sober for 2 years or 5 or 10, that becomes overwhelming and can become stressful. If you're sober today, you won. If you're
Okay.
sober tomorrow, you won, right?
I agree.
So if you treat some of these things similar, right? Like you might miss a day, right? If you're going to the gym, you might miss a day,
Yeah.
but don't let that day define you. Go to the gym tomorrow or
Yep.
and
You got
just
to
one
figure
day
out a
at a
reset.
time.
Yeah. You got to figure out a daily reset if you fuck up. Never miss
So
twice.
if you miss twice in a row,
Yeah. We never miss twice.
well, and maybe that's part of your plan.
Yep.
So you can be a little bit forgiving, but at the same time, you have some kind of plan to where it's easier to get back on track.
That's right. And I think we miss a lot of that is we miss the plan. Um, okay. Let's jump onto like like dad resolutions.
Okay.
Okay. Let me I'll start off. If you can improve one thing this year as a dad, what would it be? Would it be calm, presence, or let's say a personal goal for yourself, whether it being health or mindset?
I mean, legitimately, one of mine is being more present. So I would say that's the one.
Okay, and why?
So I think for me, I still have some young kids, and I think it's important to be there for them. And my daughter would probably tell you right now that I do a good job, but I can tell you right now that I don't always do a good job. Um, I don't know about my younger son. He's he's kind of reclusive anyways. But I do try to like get him out of his room so we could spend some time together. Um, I don't even remember your question, Dimitri.
So if you had
Oh, why do I want to be more present?
yeah, like why what's your value in that?
I think I don't think it's necessarily my value. Well, I guess it is. I think spending more time with your kids and being present is extremely valuable and helps them in the long run. It also helps you. It also helps you feel better.
It's
A-
true.
And you don't even know it. Like you think sitting on your phone and scrolling is going to make you feel better, but actually interacting with your children makes you feel pretty fucking good.
Well, and so on that point, it's how we're interacting with our kids. Like it's not just being in the same room and having them do what the fuck you want. It's taking that time and doing what they want. Like that's interaction for them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you give them that, then they're able to give you your time. because they say, "Oh, you know what? When dad said that he's gonna be there for me and he's gonna play this game, dude, then we're sitting here and we're playing it." Like, he said we're gonna build something, then we're building something. He's not on his phone. He's not distracted by work or any other thing.
Right.
I think presence is massive for our kids.
Absolutely.
Um, you got one for me?
Yeah. What would your kids say you're best at right now?
Um,
And do you agree with what they would say?
I feel like I'm, like, hypercritical of myself, so I don't think my kids would say I'm, like, best at anything. Like, I know that's kinda like a cop out for an answer, but I guess, like, sitting down and, like, relaxing with them. But that's I feel like that's such a like, a lame answer. Like, Runner and Ellie randomly asked me, they're like, "Hey, dad, you wanna come cuddle?" And I would just sit on the couch and wrap in my arms, and we watch a movie or show. Um, I think what I'm best at is being kinda spontaneous and just randomly getting up, be like, "Alright, get your shoes on and go outside." And then we go outside and we play son. Um, but not on, like, a consistent enough basis that makes it valuable. I think it's more so, like, when I realize to myself, like, "Hey, I'm kinda being shitty by not doing shit right now. I need to get these kids out of this house, and I need to get out, do something together."
But don't you think it's more valuable if you do it spontaneously and periodically than daily?
I do. I think that you can't force authenticity, and I think my kids well, okay, well, I guess the one thing that my kids can count on me is being authentic. Um, if I don't find interest in doing something, I'm not gonna do it. If I do it, I'll tell them like, "Hey, this really isn't fun for me, but I know that you're enjoying it, and, like, that's what's important to me at the moment, so we can like, I'm so down." Um, but I think lying to your kids and be like, "Oh, no, no, dude, I definitely wanna sit here and roll on the ground and have you kick me." Like, that sounds like so much fun. I think kids need to understand that, hey, sometimes just because you don't wanna do something, it might make someone else feel better, and it might make their day. So, it's nice to do something for other people, which I feel like with your kids, it shouldn't be, like, for other people. You're doing it for them.
Yeah.
See, I blacked out after I said that last word and forgot everything I just said.
Um, what would your kids say you need to work on most?
Probably keeping my shit together and not kind of, like, losing my mind over little things, which for me is, like, it's the little things that add up into a big pile. So I think I just need to find a balance with that.
Like what type of little things?
Um, I guess stuff that will matter in the future, but really fucking doesn't matter now. Hey, pick up the stuff that you just threw on the ground. Before you go and do this next thing, you need to clean up what you were doing. And honestly, they're pretty great at it. Um, just yelling about dumb shit. Like sometimes they're just being kids. Brother and sisters are gonna fight and they're gonna argue. And like my daughter just really goes at it sometimes. And it sucks because I don't want her to like I don't want to be beating her down because she keeps making the wrong choices. And in reality, sometimes the choices that she's making are probably the right choices in her mind. So being more understanding
Okay.
instead of just fucking just losing it.
It's good.
Knock it off. Why are you doing that? Well, because I don't care. I don't care why it started. I don't care who started it. You're the older one, so you should be making the right fucking choice. And it's like, logically, that's right. But for a kid emotionally, no, dude, they don't understand what the fuck you just said. They're like, what? Now you're yelling? I gotta yell too? Cool, we're yelling now. So
Two wrongs don't make a right,
two wrongs don't make a right.
but
It's
two
bad.
rights make an airplane.
Well, you know, it's funny because when our kids do something wrong and then we start yelling, we're we're to your point, two wrongs don't make a right. We're continuing it on. And then we expect them to make the right decision when they do something wrong without yelling.
Yeah. I'm super bad at it with August for sure.
That's hard. It's like that's a big challenge for any resolution you might have. And if it's presence, well, I'm just saying if you got a lot of stuff going on and you're stressed, it's easy to want to take that presence and just fucking go back into a shell because you don't want to deal with all the other bullshit. You're like, I'm already on my last nerve and you're kicking me or doing something you shouldn't. And as much as I want to be here present for this moment, I'd also like to go the fuck away. And maybe that's a big part of your weekly goals is to find if this happens, then I do this to get myself back on course.
All right. Well, let's talk about that. What do you mean weekly goals?
Weekly goals, as in, let's make let's make a commitment to ourselves on a weekly basis, and we could call it the resolution compass. You have, in order to be successful throughout the week, we don't make these massive, massive goals for ourselves. You make things that are so small that you can easily accomplish them, no matter what's going on that day. And each day is a win. You don't get to the end of the week and you say, awesome, like I fucked up 3 or 4 of those days. And now I'm a piece of shit. No, you set a goal. Today I'm going to be more present. How am I going to be more present? I'll be more present because when it's dinner time or when I'm hanging out with my kids and my phone goes in a drawer, or when I want to do something selfishly for myself and I see my kids need me, I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it down and I'm going to be there for them. That's a win. And my obstacle, like I think if we don't write down our obstacles of things that are going to get in the way, stress, sleep, emotions, um, work, then those things are going to come up and we're not going to know what to do.
So, if work is an obstacle, do you just not go?
Yeah. I mean, if maybe I should rephrase that. Work being a mental load obstacle. So when you get home and your kids want to do something, but your goal is presence, you can't say, "Oh, well, I had a really shitty day at work, so I'm just not going to be present for my kids today." No, I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to pull my shit together and realize that this is what I wanted to do. This is all I have to do. I have 5 minutes. You make it something so small. I have 5 minutes to be there for my kids. And I'm sure people are going to be like, 5 minutes, that's not long enough. Well, maybe you don't have fucking kids, but 5 minutes is long enough for you to get the hell out of your own head. So that 5 minutes turns into a greater number without you even realizing. But you make it something that's so small that you can't fail. Work's being the obstacle, it's stress. You had a shitty day at work, man.
Well, and I have something that actually works for me that doesn't technically probably work for you because of your situation, but I sometimes try to decompress on the drive home so I'm ready and prepared when I get home. So it's a little tool that I've kind of used. I guess more recently, I think I've used it over time, but getting all of the bullshit out in that drive home and then being able to walk into the door and not think about work and be more family or kid focused. And it's not always easy, right? Like I
Yeah.
could get a phone call on the way home and completely derails everything, but it's a nice little, I don't know if it's a trick, but just something that just kind of works a little bit for me.
Okay. Well,
So maybe you go get in the car and you go
uh,
drive for 30 minutes when you
yeah, yeah.
get off
And
work.
fucking waste money. My wife gets home from driving an hour throughout the day. Then I'm like, hey, babe, I got to go. I got to go fucking take a drive.
I gotta drive home.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think, I get that moment though. When I go and walk and I pick up the kids because the school's literally 5 minutes down the street walking. So it gives me a couple minutes to like mentally decompress. Um, but yeah, I mean that's your way of resetting, right? You
Yeah,
reset yourself before you get home and you get to the point where you need to accomplish or be disciplined to initiate your plan of being present.
exactly.
And I think that's a big thing. Like you have to have fail safes. You have to have things. Not only do you need to write out your goals clearly, you need to make them realistic. You need to write down things that can go wrong. And it sounds stupid. If your goal is to like brush your fucking teeth, some people just don't brush their shit. Well, what can go wrong? Oh, well, I could be lose track of time and I got to do this. Okay, so make it fucking set yourself alarms to brush your teeth, 30 fucking alarms until you get to the point where you're like, dude, I'm so tired of setting these things off. I'm just going to brush them. You know, set an alarm in your room, in your drawer with your toothbrush that happens at a certain time. Because at that point you're making yourself succeed. And sometimes in order for you to succeed, it's uncomfortable. Being present is uncomfortable. Eating healthy is uncomfortable. But dying is pretty fucking uncomfortable too. Your kids resenting you and looking at you as a failure because you're unable to create something and stick to it. That's uncomfortable because now you're perpetuating your own shit onto them. And we don't want that. We don't want that shit. We want our kids to set a goal, reach that goal, and go to the next level and keep moving and moving and moving. But it starts with us, and they have to visually be able to see that we're able to do these things.
By the way, if your New Year resolution is to brush your teeth more and you're an adult, Is that your New Year's resolution?
No, no,
Okay.
my New Year's resolution is to get a system lined out that I can follow to have the results that I'm looking for. Something that I can be accountable to myself and to others for. That's because through that, all my goals will be reached.
Do you think sharing your goals with other people helps you?
I think it makes you accountable. It's like having, in sobriety, right? You have the person that you call. What do they call that?
Sponsor.
A sponsor. I think having a sponsor for your goals, having a sponsor for your resolutions. And hey, dude, just give me a call today to see if you got through it. No, you didn't. What happened? I think having that is important. And for us, I'll say this, you know, we do this podcast. At this point, we do it every week. In the future, that's going to change a bit. But in the meantime, that gives us accountability to each other to say, hey, these were my goals. Here's where I messed up. Here's what I could have done better. So in a turn, we're each other's, sponsors for our
Sponsors.
resolutions.
Well, and maybe the internet can be our sponsors.
The internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your guys' resolutions?
Yep.
Do you guys have something that you want to accomplish and you just don't know how? Hmm?
Yes.
We're here for you. Um, all right. Let's let's do unscripted real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take a couple of minutes and we'll go through Fatherhood Unscripted.
You want
You
me to
want to
start?
start? Yeah.
I mean, mine's pretty easy. We are 3 days past Christmas, but I had an awesome Christmas with the kids. Um, we have a unique situation where we get 2 Christmases in the same day. So, um, I don't know. It was cool. It was a good day. I think the kids got hooked up. Deanne did a lot of the shopping and a lot of the wrapping, and I think every kid was pretty satisfied with their their gifts. So my mom came over, we hung out, had appetizers, and just chill. So Christmas is my unscripted. It was a good day.
Awesome, man.
I
I think
needed it.
uh, as like a reset
Um,
or just like the build up to it. It was nice to,
it was a stressful Christmas this year up until Christmas Day, and then
yeah,
Christmas Day was successful, which made all the other bullshit a little bit more worth it.
that's fair. Um, Chri- Obviously Christmas was great. I made 3 racks of ribs to bring over to my family's. Everybody enjoyed the ribs. Um, but my true unscripted moment is the other day, not yesterday, the night before. I bought lightsabers for the kids for Christmas, and it's a 2-pack. But I took the lightsabers, I turned them on, and I went upstairs to my daughter, who was sitting there watching a show, and I gave her a lightsaber. Or actually, sorry, I had one in my hand and the other one was in her room. And I turned it on and I combined them and they turned into like this giant lightsaber. And then I took it apart. And then me and her for about 15, 20 minutes in her room were literally just having a lightsaber battle. um, while my wife was taking a shower, to then which I said, let's go outside and have a lightsaber battle on the street. And it's like sleeting. And me and her went out and we're just battling in the street. And then Ronan comes out. And so my unscripted was that was so much fun. Like that was for my kids. It made me feel like a kid again. And that was important. Sometimes you just gotta let out the kid inside of you and have a good freaking time. And they were laughing. They hit my thumb. My thumb had a bruise on it. But it was so much fun. And that was we built a core memory.
That's awesome. All right, let's you want to build the resolution?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we can build the resolution. So and let's kind of tell people what it is that we're building. So we're saying we're building a resolution, but in reality, what we're doing is we're building a system that you could apply either on a daily or weekly basis to accomplish those goals of yours, right?
Yeah. So question.
Okay.
So let's pretend like I mean, we don't need to pretend, but let's pretend like you want to lose weight and that's part of your New Year's resolution. Do you think you should set a weekly goal, a monthly goal, and a yearly goal? Or do you just do 1 week at a time?
I guess there's two answers, right? So if you're talking about a genuine weight, then yeah, you should probably have some sort of a weekly goal. But I do think that you should have a daily goal. And your daily goal isn't to lose weight. Your daily goal is to make healthier choices. And through that daily goal and the accomplishment of that, you're going to accomplish your greater goal, which is to lose weight by X day or an X amount of pounds. But you make it so easy that it becomes second nature where you're not even thinking about it. Not to say that I'm going to, like when I used to prep my meals and shit, that's not sustainable. It might make you fucking feel good. What do you do? Well, I'm just prepping my meals because I'm fucking cool. No, no, that shit's fucking hard. It's not an enjoyable thing to do. Nobody wants to eat the same shit every day. And you won't accomplish your goal that way. But cutting out one thing and taking it a day at a time. Well, today I'm not going to eat fucking Doritos. And at the end of the day, you could say, I won my day because I didn't eat any Doritos. And someone's going to laugh at you. Well, are you doing it because you give a shit?
So do you step it up?
Step it up on it.
So if you didn't eat Doritos for the day, do you go above and beyond the next day? I'm not going to eat Doritos and Swiss rolls.
Yeah. Yeah. And each day you can have a win. And through each win, you're building that habit. You're building that kind of excitement within yourself. Because if you make your win all the way up here and you're only able to get to here, you're going to keep failing. Eventually, you're going to be up there. But right now, you need to make it so you can go a little bit. You know, if you don't lose 20 pounds in a fucking week, what are you going to give up on your resolution?
Right. Right.
Probably because you're like, this is unattainable. If you have to lose 2 pounds in a week, dude, you could lose 2 pounds in a week. You could lose 2 pounds in a day. You have to make it sustainable for yourself. Um, so, like you said, if we go through this, so here's the 9-step setup. Okay. So here's what you guys can do. All right. So one, you're gonna choose a mission. You're gonna pick a keystone goal. We're not gonna pick 5. Um, so we're gonna label these as kind of fatherhood related. So you're calm dad, present dad. It's gonna be sleep, health, fitness. You make your one mission. You're gonna write your why, which is funny because in our job, that was a big old thing, and that why also resonates or stems from the Jocko stuff, doesn't it? Doesn't he very strong with it?
I think so.
Write your why. Write one sentence for your kids and your partner and a simple reason for you to stick to it. And that's your why, and let them know. Um, make 2 if then plans. If is the real situation. So if my kids shit my pants or shit their pants, then a tiny action. I'm not gonna lose my mind. You're just gonna clean it up. They're your little cheat codes. They're things that are gonna help you accomplish. If my goal is to be healthy and my wife brings home pizza, okay. If she brings home pizza, I'm gonna eat a slice. That's my then. I don't have to eat 5 fucking slices of pizza. I don't have to roll the thing up like a goddamn burrito and shove it down my throat. I want to, but I won't. So give yourself the ability to get out of a situation. If this happens, then I do that.
All right, let's actually do this. You ask
Okay.
me the questions, I'll answer them, so people have like a real life example.
Okay. So, in a sense of filling it out, or are you
Yeah.
saying,
Yep.
okay, all right. So what do you vow? What's your vow?
I'll just do an easy one, and it's something that I do want to do anyways, but I just want to be healthier. I think lose weight, but I also want to just be healthier in general for my kids.
So be healthier.
Yep.
Okay. What's your one mission? So what's your keystone goal? And you kind of
So I
so
would
your
say,
no, no,
go
good,
ahead.
good. No, no. So your identity sentence, I want to be healthier for my kids.
Yes.
Okay.
And then my mission would be to lose, say, 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
Yep.
Okay.
Not in a
Now,
week.
not in a week. So let's set this because we want to make this this is your week 1, Patrick. Okay. So this is your week 1. Your goal is I want to be healthier for my kids. Let's make a keystone goal for you that you want to lose. Let's say 3 pounds. Is that attainable?
In a week?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to feel good at the end of the week once you've attained 3 pounds?
Well, that's a good question. If we're talking about week 1, probably. If we're talking
Okay.
about every week, definitely. But I don't know how realistic that is.
Okay. I don't think 3 pounds is too crazy. Let's make it 2 pounds. Okay. So your one mission is to lose 2 pounds a week.
Okay.
That's
I'm
fair.
good with that.
Okay. So let's get your if then cheat codes. So if situation or if this cue happens, then you're going to do a tiny action. Okay. So give
So,
me 2.
so one of my issues is, and you kind of actually said it as what made me think of it, but at work, people will bring in food, right? Like somebody will invite you to lunch, or somebody will bring in a box of donuts, or somebody will bring in pizza. And it becomes my kryptonite. So is what I would like to do is maybe have like a healthier snack at work that I enjoy. And if that happens, I don't have the donuts or the pizza and I go eat the healthier snack. So that's my if this happens, then I'm doing this.
Okay. So let me get these, sir. Your identity is I want to lose weight, right? Or I
Yep.
want to be healthier. That's
I
what
want to
your
be
identity
healthier.
stands with. Okay. You're going to have a healthy baseline. Okay. Lose 2 pounds per week. And then your if situation. So if somebody brings food into work, right?
Yep.
Like junk food,
Yep.
then what are we going to do about that?
Um then I'll have a healthy snack, like something that I enjoy.
Okay, but are you going to bring it with you?
Yeah. I have a fridge.
Okay. So you're going to have a healthy snack ready to go.
Yep. And
All
I'll
right.
do that instead of eating the junk food that was brought.
All right. Give me another if then situation.
Um Oof. Think dessert. I think if because we don't do dessert every night, but if we have dessert, then I need to find like a healthier dessert option, and then it's like strawberries and fat-free Cool Whip or something like that.
Why don't we do if you forgot your healthy snack?
Okay.
Because that's a realistic thing that'll happen, right? You're not always going to have the food you need to stay on your goal. So what are we going to do then?
Stab the person in the throat that brought the junk food.
Okay. So if I don't have my healthy snack, I will stab somebody.
Yes.
That's your tiny action.
That's I think it's just a good plan because then they'll stop bringing food in.
They'll stop fucking existing.
Um, I don't know, man. It I think it's a very slippery slope with me because to your point, insert I mean, I can just tell you this happened the other day. Somebody brought in donuts, and if I don't eat one, I'm okay.
Yeah.
If I eat one, I then eat five.
Yeah.
And so giving myself the leeway of eating one, I think is where I struggle. Where s- so like that's just not an option for me.
Okay. Okay. So if you forgot your healthy snack, you're just not eating.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I don't think that's a good idea, but that's fair. All right. Obstacle. Okay. So what is, we're going to go through our obstacles in here and we're going to go through WOOP. Okay.
Okay.
So that's going to be your wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. So right now we're on the obstacle part. Okay. So sorry, I apologize. So what's your wish?
I mean, my wish is to lose 50 pounds over the year.
Okay. Lose 50 pounds in a year. Okay. And your outcome, your best result is that you lose 50 pounds, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's an obstacle? What's something that's going to stop you?
Um, Honestly, it's the junk food at work. It's crazy how impactful it can be.
Okay. Now, we're going to plan. So if people bring in junk food at work, you already said you can't eat a piece of junk food and have that be cool. You can't have a donut and be like, cool, I'm not going to eat anymore. So if there's junk food, we just don't eat it.
Yep.
Is that realistic?
I think it is. I mean, especially with fasting, depending on timing.
So what if you made it easier on yourself? If out
That's
of
what
a
I was
week,
doing by bringing my own healthy snack. And
but
I'm
what I'm
not saying it has to be healthy like
well, now you're
celery.
changing it. But now you're changing it. You said healthy snack. Celery is healthy.
I said healthy the first time.
Oh, so now we're changing it.
Well, no, we're not changing it. I said fucking healthy the first time.
Jesus Christ, dude. You can't even fucking commit.
What do you mean I can't commit?
You said healthy
You're
snack.
trying to get me to say something that I don't know what you're trying to get me to say.
Are you going to bring ho-hos?
No, why would I bring ho-hos? I might as well eat fucking donuts.
All right. So what's a healthy snack?
I said healthy the first time.
All right.
This is recorded. You can fucking watch it.
All right. And then
I actually think I said healthier. I don't think I said healthy. Like I don't know in my head, but like I like Greek yogurts. I like those Chobani flips.
okay. But are you going to, so would you allow yourself to, out of a week, have a junk food snack like once or twice? Do you think that would make it easier?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm telling you, man, I have control issues when I start eating, especially if I'm stressed. If I don't touch it, then it's not a problem. If I
Okay.
touch it, then it's a problem.
Okay. So your obstacle isn't necessarily junk food. It's your self-control around that stuff when you're stressed.
Yes.
Okay. So self-control while stressed is your obstacle.
Yes. And work's
So,
a high stress environment.
okay. So let's say you're stressed at work. What will you do to remind yourself of your goals? Like if you're stressed, you're like, fuck, dude, I just want to eat a whole box of donuts right now. What can you do?
I have a fridge at work. It's in my office. I can legitimately put stuff in the fridge as a fallback plan. If that shows up, then that's my trigger to go eat something out of my fridge that's a little bit healthier.
All right, but what if you're like super stressed at work and now you've eaten 15 fucking Greek yogurts in a day?
I don't think that would be an issue.
So, okay, so could a tiny action be if you're stressed just to open up your fridge and look at your fucking healthy food? Like you don't
Sure.
even have to eat it. You just look at it just to remind yourself that, hey, this is,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yep.
Okay. And then we go into, minimum viable habits. So my full habit, my minimum habit, and my hard day rule. So why don't we go through like two more of these and then we'll kind of keep on rolling through the episode and wrap it up. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay, so what's your minimum viable habit? So your full habit that you want to have.
I think just eating healthier in general.
But so let's be specific about it. My full habit is to eat healthy 5 days a week or,
Perfect.
okay.
I mean, that's usually what I do anyways. It's Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday is when
Okay,
I
so
don't
what's your minimum habit then? What's the bare minimum that you'll accept from yourself?
5.
It has to be
5's
different.
doable. What?
But so what's the minimum? What if you hit 3 that week? Are you going to quit next week?
No, I'm gonna
Okay.
have target 5 the next week.
Okay. So 5 is your target. Are you saying that's your hard day rule? Every single day, you're just going to eat healthy as long as it's within those 5 to 7.
Yes.
You're not going to give yourself any leeway to fail.
I'm giving myself leeway because there's 7 days in a week, so 5 is doable. That gives me 2 days to eat what I want.
I don't. Okay. So your full habit is to eat healthy 5 days a week. Your minimum habit is to eat 5 healthy 5 days a week. And now your hard rule is to eat healthy 5 days a week. You're not giving yourself leeway, right? So let's say you fuck up, you only eat 3 healthy days that week. That's still a success. That still gives you the mindset to say, you know what, I did the bare minimum, but I still got through it. Like I
Well, then
wasn't
4. I feel like 4 is over 50% of the week, so you could say 4.
okay. So 4 healthy days a week. Hard day rule. What's one thing you can do every single day that even if you're not eating healthy, that you're going to feel accomplished because you did it right? Let's say maybe you had a shitty dinner, but you had really, really healthy food the rest of the day or healthy snacks throughout the day.
Um, that's a good question. I need to eat more vegetables if I'm being perfectly honest. So like maybe more vegetable like snacks.
Is do 2 servings of vegetables a day.
Perfect.
It's your hard day rule. Like no matter what that you have, even if you eat a whole bag of fucking Doritos, as long as you have your 2 servings of vegetables, it's still a partial win for the day.
Perfect.
Okay. So the whole point of us doing this on here while we're recording this and taking up time is because now what we just did is the gist of something that we're going to have down in our description, whether it's put in there today or in the next few days, that you yourself can follow along. And the whole goal isn't to give yourself a um a description that's really simple, right? You can't be vague. We have to be very specific in what we're looking to accomplish, the specific obstacles that we know we're going to encounter, and what specific things we're going to do when they happen. Because that specificity is going to allow you to be super on top of your shit and say, well, fuck, dude, somebody brought in snacks today. This is like my favorite snack, and I haven't eaten this shit in weeks. Like, I feel like I can have one. Well, for you, you're like, I can't do it. So open up the fridge and grab yourself a Greek yogurt or just look in there. Make it something so small that just going to snap you back into what you need to do. Like if we're not specific, it doesn't come down to discipline. I really don't think it does. I think it comes down to having your stuff locked down, having a clear goal and a clear understanding of if this happens, I'm going to do this. If I have this obstacle, here's my solution to it.
Right.
And then we have to find a reset. You have to find a reset for yourself that you can say, oh, I can just do this. I fucked up today. It really wasn't great. But you know what? My reset is I still had my 2 servings of veggies. If you're trying to brush your teeth, my reset is I at least have brushed my teeth this morning. Like whatever your goal is, you have to have a bare minimum that you can attain. Because even through your minimum, you're going to have progress every single day. You just need to have it. We can't have these super high expectations for ourselves, and we're never going to achieve them because we don't have a good ironed out plan.
Right.
We're going to have an if then, so implementation and intention. We're going to have the WOOP, which is wish, outcome, obstacle, and your plan. We're going to have a minimal viable habit that you can accomplish. And you're going to have a daily scorecard. After that, you're going to have a weekly dad reset. You know, a 15-minute meeting every single week with your sponsor, let's say, or it's us, and you want to post it in the comments and say, hey guys, I've done this, and then and that. I've kind of fucked up here. Awesome, man. You've held yourself accountable now. You've put it onto a paper or a computer and you've made it clear of what you didn't do good. So next week you can do better. And that's all it is. It's a weekly system. And we're going to help you guys achieve what you want to get done. And through doing that, we'll also fill these out and we'll hold each other accountable to make sure that we can attain whatever this New Year's resolution mumbo jumbo we're supposed to do.
Mumbo jumbo.
For us, it's the being better dads. It's the fatherhood resolution, which isn't on a yearly plane. It's on a daily, hourly, and sometimes weekly. So we want you to succeed with it just as much as we need to succeed with it ourselves, because we all have things to improve upon.
Absolutely.
Well,
all right. You want to talk about our direction?
Yeah. The past couple weeks, we've had kind of a hard time finding great topics to discuss because things constantly change and sometimes you don't have enough time in a day to research or get a good conversation going that is going to keep you guys entertained. So what we're going to do, and I don't know if this is something that we're going to start next week or within the next couple of weeks, but we're going to cut ourselves down to, instead of having a episode every single Sunday, we're going to post something every other Sunday. So, and then we're going to go live as well. So we'll have a live episode once a month, and then we'll have a pre-recorded episode once a month. That way we can give you guys value. That way we can have you walk away and say, I'm glad I listened to these guys today and I've either learned something, I was entertained, or you're just there to fucking hang out. But I think that's going to give us the tools to kind of be a better channel for you. Does that sound about right, Patrick?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to add on there?
No, I don't think so. I think for us, we did this for a couple reasons, but one of the reasons was to add value to other fathers. And I think sometimes we get lost in our own, like we're getting in our own way. And I think we add value from a humor standpoint when we're not structured, but we don't add value from a father standpoint when we're not structured. So I think being a little bit more structured is going to help add some value that people could really, take home or take to their family. So that's all I got.
Value is king, man. We want you guys to stay on our episodes, not selfishly, but because you genuinely want to stay here. That's important. We don't want to just be some fucking thing that somebody clicks on and they're like, no, fuck these guys. No, we want the opposite. We want somebody to be like, yeah, fuck these guys. They're awesome. We want you to tell somebody about the shit that you're out. We want you to fill out this resolution and be like, you know what, this thing helped. Like, somebody, please, next week, I want to have at least one person comment that, hey, I filled out this resolution. Here are my goals, and here's where I got with them. Do that for us.
I also want to say we will still have humor.
Yeah.
Because if you interact with Dimitri, you can't get away from it.
If you what? I'm sorry? You cut
Just
out there.
interacting with you, you can't get away from humor. because you're always going to say something.
I will. I think today I've said a lot less dumb shit. And it's like, it's really hard like that. And that's what I mean. I'm black and white, dude. I'm either full retard or I'm like, dude, I just can't even fucking look that way. And it's hard to commingle in that shit. That was cool, wasn't it?
It was something. All right. You ready for the question?
I am ready for the question.
Okay. Just because we're on topic. If you could successfully complete one of your resolutions, which made you a better father, but you had to sacrifice one of your kids' resolutions, would you do it? And why?
Ooh. All right, I'll say this. I remember being a kid and there's things that I wanted to do that I think were incredibly important to me. As a parent, if your kid says, well, I need to color this picture right now because I have to do it. We usually say, no, you don't. It's not that important. So, I mean, that's a hard one. I think I'd have to say, like, I want my kids to complete their resolutions because ultimately that's the most important thing to me. There's plenty of things I want to accomplish in my life, but the fact that I have it isn't a burden or a reason for them to not to accomplish theirs. I need to figure out how to do it side by side. But if I had to pick one, it's definitely my kids. I want my kids to accomplish what they set out to do for themselves. Because at the end of the day, that's what they're going to remember. Well, you know what? Dad put his shit aside because he wanted to make sure that I was good and I got my stuff taken care of. How about you?
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'll give a good example just so I could hopefully put some context to it. But let's pretend like my kid's resolution was to fight with their sibling less than they did last year. I think if my resolution is to be more present for my children, naturally that fighting should go down a little bit.
That's fair. Okay, so depending on the resolution then, huh?
Yeah, I don't want my kids to just never be able to complete a resolution because I'm being selfish.
Well, that changes it a bit then. Because I didn't think about it that way. Because I'm thinking you just stand behind your kids and, help them, guide them for what they need. But in turn, you could be guiding both of you by picking a resolution that is advantageous.
Yep.
Ooh, I don't know. I think you're right then. I think as long as your resolution doesn't overtake theirs.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, if your resolution helps you be a better dad, I think naturally, my eyes just did some weird shit. I think naturally, it's better for everybody. Right?
Yeah, you
It's
can't
better
have a
for your
resolution
children.
like, I don't want to have kids anymore. You
That's
should
a
not carry out that fucking
bad
resolution.
resolution.
That's
Bad
fucking
resolution.
bad. Bad resolution.
All
Well,
right. Okay. Well, that was a good one.
I agree. That being said, guys,
Let's wrap it up.
let's wrap it up and kind of leave you with a bit of this. A compass is useless if you're not willing to move. So pick your direction and take your first steps. And compass on. There.
Like, follow,
Like,
subscribe, and comment. Please comment and tell us what your you don't even have to call it a New Year's resolution. I know that's, at least for me, it's so corny, and it just has a negative connotation to it a little bit to me. But put your goal in there, your weekly goal, your monthly goal, and your yearly goal,
Yep.
and let us know what it is, and let's have some accountability across the board.
That's right. Check in with us. Make us the reason that you can set a goal and have somebody to be held accountable to, even if it's not somebody in the real world. We're just two dads here. And just as two dads, we want to make sure that you see through whatever obstacle that's in your way and any advice that we can give you, because that's why we're here ultimately. And with
Like,
that,
follow, subscribe, comment, Spotify, YouTube, all major platforms. Compass on.
compass on, and we'll see you guys next week.